Hi all, in this video we will try to talk about the conjunction of Rahu and Mercury. Rahu is a shadow planet. It behaves like the planet that it is in conjunction with. Or you can also say it will try to enhance the properties of the planet that it is in conjunction with. Rahu also behaves like a planet that aspecting it. So if a planet is, let us say, if Mars is aspecting Rahu, then Rahu will try to behave like Mars. But the first preference is given to the conjunction, the second preference is given to the aspect, and the third preference is given to the sign Lord. So let us say in a horoscope, if Mars is watching Rahu and Rahu is in conjunction with Mercury in Pisces. So Rahu and Mercury conjunction is in Pisces, and let us say Mars is watching Rahu and Mercury conjunction. So Rahu will give first preference to the planet that it is in conjunction with, right? So Rahu behaves more like Mercury in that case because Rahu is in conjunction with Mercury. Now in the secondary distribution, you can clearly see Rahu will behave like Mars because Mars is aspecting Rahu. And in the third point of view, means in the third distribution, the contribution of Rahu means the next percentage of Rahu is the sign Lord contribution. So as Rahu is in Pisces, so it will also try to acquire the capabilities of Jupiter here, right? So that is an example that is not shown in this particular horoscope that I am showing you in my mobile screen, but you can understand, right? So Rahu always gives the first preference to the planet that it is in conjunction with, and then the next preference is the aspect, and the third preference is the sign Lord. So when Rahu and Mercury are in conjunction, what happens? What is Rahu basically? Rahu is materialism, Rahu is illusion, it is cheating, it is unlimited fame, unlimited wealth, a disease. Also, Rahu is your uncomfortable zone, Rahu is a challenge, Rahu is the purpose of this life. Rahu is what you could not achieve in your previous birth, means your unfulfilled desires is Rahu. Rahu is magnetism. Rahu is unlimited fame, actually, unlimited fame, unlimited wealth, out of the box thinking. And also Rahu is, it's cheating, it's intoxication, it's mysticism, theft, cheating, and cheating by words, cheating by communication, and advanced scientific technology is also Rahu. So if you observe this kind of intoxication, cheating, and also the kind of mysticism and all the stuff, it relates to Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. And the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it lies in the sign Aquarius. That's why some of the modern astrologers say Rahu can be treated as a sign Lord of Aquarius, right? It is their perception, but in the Vedic literature it is not at all. Means in the Vedanga, as if you consider astrology as a Vedanga, so nowhere in the Vedic astrology Rahu is not the owner of any sign. Rahu and Ketu were not given the lordship of any sign in the Vedic astrology. But the modern astrologers, just they want to relate the Rahu's behavior with some nakshatra or with some sign, thereby they are trying to make Rahu as the owner of the sign Aquarius. but it is debatable again, right? Because if you're going against the principles of Vedic astrology, it is always debatable. Now, the next thing is, what is Mercury? In the Kalapurush Kundali, Mercury is the lord of Gemini and also Virgo. So if you understand, Gemini is the third house in the Kalapurush Kundali, so automatically the third house represents your communication abilities, marketing. Also, Mercury means the third house is your younger siblings and communication, intelligence, the logical thinking, the initiatives, the kind of efforts you put in your life, right? So this is all related to Mercury only, right? So the initiatives, the logical thinking, the communication abilities, the calculative abilities, the kind of and also Mercury is treated as very young. It's a young princess, they say. It's because its lordship is with Virgo also. Virgo is nothing but, it's a Kanya Rashi, right? So Kanya means it's young princess, kind of, right? An young girl. So that youngerness is also related to Mercury. So Mercury is always treated as a very young and charming personality. So that is Mercury. So Mercury is basically, it gives the abilities of logical thinking and your academics. All your academic studies are related to Mercury only. Jupiter is not academics. Jupiter is higher learning, right? Jupiter is dharma, Jupiter is law and order, Jupiter is the finance, children, this kind of stuff is Jupiter. Whereas Mercury is completely your academic communication, your academic skills, your logical thinking, and also the competitive exams. That's why sixth house also represents competitive exams. In the natural Kalapurush Kundali, you can always see the sixth house is Virgo, because first house is Aries in the natural Kalapurush Kundali, right? So Mercury is the representation of competitive exams also. Now this particular Rahu and Mercury, when they are in conjunction, see, generally Mercury is neutral in nature. If it is with a benefic planet, it acts like a benefic one. If it is with a malefic one, it acts like a malefic one. Rahu is a shadow planet. If it is in conjunction with a planet, it also tries to behave like that planet, right? So in this case, what happens, Rahu is also treated as a kind of expansion. It is always going to glorify the planet that it is in conjunction with. So when Rahu and Mercury are in conjunction, then automatically Rahu is going to enhance the properties of Mercury, provided your Mercury is very good. See, Mercury is a functionally malefic planet for Libra ascendant people. Alright. And it is also a functionally malefic planet for Aries ascendant people. And if you observe, it is a functionally malefic planet for Aquarius ascendant people. Right? So like this, for some of the ascendants, Mercury is functionally malefic. So if you ask me for which ascendants Mercury is functionally malefic, so you can say first one is for Libra ascendant people, it is functionally malefic. And for if you take Sagittarius, for Sagittarius it is very benefic. And for Capricorn ascendant people, it is very good, Yoga Karaka. And for Aquarius ascendant people, Mercury is functionally malefic. And then for Aries ascendant people, it is functionally malefic. And for Taurus ascendant people, it is Yoga Karaka. And for Gemini ascendant, it is the best one, is the most benefic one. And Cancer, no. Leo, no. Right. So for three ascendant people, that is Libra ascendant people, for Aquarius ascendant people, for Aries ascendant people, Mercury is functionally malefic. So when Mercury is joining with Rahu for them, it may not be, it may give some kind of negative traits, provided its dignity is worst, right? So let's try to understand. So whenever Rahu and Mercury are in conjunction, that gives a over communication skills beyond the expectations. Means the communication of that particular personality, the particular native, is something like it's very unique. You cannot, it's going to be, you don't feel like that communication existed before. You wouldn't find, you would always find the communication is very much fresh, very much newer. It's completely unknown. You feel like I never have seen this kind of communication before. You always feel like that. And if you observe this particular is Rahu is comfortable in some of the signs. One is, let us say, Cancer. In Cancer, Rahu is comfortable. In Virgo, Rahu is comfortable. Aquarius, he is comfortable. And in Taurus and Gemini also, Rahu is very much comfortable. And of course, Rahu is exalted in Taurus, especially in the Rohini Nakshatra, people say. So whenever Rahu and Mercury conjunction occurs in the sign of Gemini or in the sign of Virgo, it's generally going to be excellent. And even because, see, Mercury is also comfortable in Gemini and Virgo. Mercury is comfortable in Taurus and Libra also. So Rahu and Mercury conjunction in Taurus and Libra is also in the next level. It's very good. But in Aquarius, it may be very much average, because Mercury's qualities are not so enhanced in Aquarius, but you can say it's neutral, so mixed results. But Rahu is somewhat better in Aquarius, so by that the Mercury's capabilities are also very much enhanced, you can say. So basically Rahu and Mercury, it is showing you a very great communicator, right? And the communication is related to what depends upon the sign in which it is placed. Let us say if it is in Sagittarius, then the person can talk very excellently, uniquely about dharma, about religion, right? And as Rahu is present, the kind of religious thoughts, Rahu and Mercury in Sagittarius, the kind of religious thoughts are also exceptional. It's very new and fresh, unique also. And if Rahu and Mercury conjunction happens in Pisces, so Pisces is very much religious, very much sacrifice related, the spiritual, so such kind of speeches you can experience from that personality. So if you observe the horoscope that we are seeing, right? So before talking about that, Rahu is also cheating, right? So when Rahu and Mercury both dignity, if their dignity is not good, something like Rahu and Mercury in Aries, let us say, so that will clearly show a person cheating with communication, with the communication skills, right? So, or with the kind of attraction he has, with the kind of magnetic power he has, he's going to cheat the people. And if you observe this particular horoscope here, Rahu and Mercury are sitting in Cancer. Now Rahu behaves like Mercury, So this Cancer is also related to the emotional, it's an emotional sign. Cancer is an emotional sign. It's a heartful communication. So this particular guy it is, as it is Aries ascendant, you can see, and Mercury is a malefic one. So this particular native can cheat others by some emotional communication, or he can very much easily show the emotional communication. By emotions he can convey any type of message. And the benefit thing here is, for this particular native, lot of the Cancer sign, the moon, it is a yoga karaka planet for Aries ascendant people. The primary benefic planet for Aries ascendant people is moon. So this particular moon is sitting in another Kendra house, that is 7th house. So always remember the Parashara principles. So the Kendra houses 1, 4, 7, 10, 5, and the Trikona houses, the 5, 9, are always auspicious houses. And their lords, if sitting in the Kendras or sitting in the Trikonas, it is always going to be excellent. Something like here, 4th lord is sitting in the 7th house as one of the excellent placements for the 4th lord, you know. So basically you can see here moon has a very good dignity, and even moon is sitting with the ascendant lord Mars. It's also, you can say, it's a Chandramangala yoga also. It's a very auspicious yoga. So by this particular emotional communication for this native is going to bring a lot of luck also, because it is the lord of Cancer is sitting with Mars here, and it's a very good thing for this particular native, because even the 7th lord, if you observe, Venus is the 7th lord here, right? And it is also sitting in the 5th house. The 7th lord sitting in the 5th house. 7th is the Kendra house, 5th is the Trikona house, right? And one more thing, this particular 7th lord is sitting with Sun. Sun is in its own house. Sun is another Yoga Karaka planet of Aries ascendant people. So this particular guy is going to achieve anything with the emotional communication, right? By showing that kind of emotions and all the stuff, right? So, and this person is going to excel in academics also, right? And that's what we can say about this horoscope. Thanks for watching my video.